Hey guys, Eric and Joey here to talk about the Walking Dead mid-season finale, Made to Suffer, and a big episode that started off with a very notable character introduction.
Yeah, Tyrese made his debut finally in The Walking Dead, a fan favorite character from the comics. And Chad Coleman, there was rumors of him being cast, but no one ever really confirmed it, but there you go, it's confirmed now.
Yeah, very quickly. I mean, we thought he'd show up by the end of season 3, which, maybe in the spring, but here he was. And interesting because a lot of people thought that he would be introduced within Woodbury, but instead it's like a whole other group out there that he's with.
It's pretty cool too, because that also opens up potential for maybe going back and seeing their story a little bit if we get to know those characters a little bit more.
Yeah, and obviously this episode with what happened with Tyrese was really about Carl as far as the characters we know and just how much he's grown, because with everyone else gone, Carl definitely took charge there.
He really did, especially Herschel obviously is kind of he's crippled right now. He can't do much, and Carl really steps up. He's a far cry from stay in the house, Carl.
Yeah.
So it's pretty great to see that.
Yeah, very cool to see that evolution. And we had some funny little moments with Axel.
We did. He got some personality injected into him, which was nice. And he's a creeper, but he was entertaining.
An entertaining creeper, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously the main thrust of this episode was what was going on in Woodbury, and really cool, I thought, sort of the attack, or they were attacking. That's the thing about Rick's group right now, is they kind of go in there and they grab that Harry Dean Stanton looking dude and they just knock him out.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool because we got into a pretty big machine gun fight on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it was this sort of assault on the community, and it was nice because it's a different sort of action than we're used to in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously walkers weren't even really a question at that point. It was just nice to freshen things up a little bit.
Yeah, and it felt kind of almost like a old John Carpenter movie to me, or something like Assault on Precinct 13 or Escape from New York in a really cool way.
Yeah.
We also got to see, we didn't mention, some people were mad at us for not mentioning Badass Glenn last week, the fact that he took out that walker. But man, he really kept going this week.
He really did.
He gave Maggie a weapon in a very interesting way.
He did, and then she jammed it into that guy's throat, really slow like.
Yes,
it's pretty brutal.
It was definitely brutal, but it was pretty exciting to see that this group, the core group on the show, that they are taking care of business when they need to.
Yeah.
And then it came down to a fight with Michonne and the governor. Started off on a bad note, but got very cool very quickly.
Yeah, her unhooking the zombie kid, Penny, from the chain was just like an illogical thing to do, especially when she's making groaning noises, and you know that she knows what that noise is.
Yeah.
That was a little silly, but what it led to was really cool.
Yeah, that whole fight, I mean, the smashing into the tanks with the heads, the fact that the heads are still zombie alive and chomping at them, and leading up to a moment that any fan of the comic book knew where it was going, but was very excited to see.
Yeah, it was a little weird to think about Michonne's, motivations for attacking the governor like she did.
Yeah.
I mean, she was really intent on stalking him and killing him. And really, they didn't have too much interaction other than she's very suspicious of him, and then, they had the little tiff before she stormed off.
Yeah.
But her motivations were really defined here for something that never actually really took place between them, I feel.
Yeah, it was a little, in the comic books, her motivation is much more clear.
Right.
But certainly the actual, and we've been saying Michonne herself needs, better work as a character, but a very satisfying fight in and of itself. Him losing the eye, sort of seeing him evolve or devolve into more of the comic book version of the governor. It was, very cool how that all played out.
Yeah, and I loved the moment with the governor and Merle.
Yeah.
Once he's like, what happened or whatever, and you just, the governor is just not, he is not a happy camper, and it was a great silent moment for him.
It was a great payoff because, the whole thing that Merle lied about Michonne being dead, and the fact that, that was the underlying thing here, and it came back to bite Merle in the ass in a big way.
Yeah. And
led to a reunion we've been waiting to see for a while.
Yeah, and, it's going to be interesting because we didn't really get to see a whole lot of, is Daryl going to choose the group or his brother? We got a little bit of that with him, providing cover fire and stuff like that. But now that they're together, I'm really excited to see, A, how they get out of that situation, if they make it out, I guess, at all, and B, what happens afterwards.
Yeah, and Andrea now, it's like finally she does know that this is her group. The entire episode, even as they were talking about people attacking and the fact that the governor kept using the term terrorists, but she didn't know that it was her group. Now she does, and so obviously there will be a moment of truth for her as well.
Yeah. That was one thing also that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, is that the governor spends the entire episode trying to hide who it is they have captive.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's totally okay with just sort of unmasking Daryl and letting Andrea know.
I guess I kind of let that go because he had just, lost his eye, and he was kind of at his sort of like most crazed and, most sort of insane.
That is true. I've never lost my eye, so I'm not sure how I would react.
You might just say, you might give up all sorts of secrets at that point. So anyway, very exciting episode. We have a long wait now till February when The Walking Dead is back. So what did you think of this episode? Let us know. And what are you hoping to see when the show comes back? See you in February, guys.